The Kodak Reels scanner produces superb quality videos from 8mm cine film. Most of mine are around 60 years old, but have really survived well and will now be fit for the digital age. However, there is one snag that crops up that I've not seen mentioned in any other reviews. But let's first look at how easy it is to set this machine up. Step number one is to plug the power adapter into the socket and connect this end to the DC 12 volt input on the back of the machine. You then need a memory card, and they don't supply that you have to buy yourself. That plugs in there, and we can turn around, switch on, and we're ready to go. The machine accepts all sizes of reels, and it will either take Super 8 or Standard 8. There's an adapter here to put on if you're swapping from one size to another. The take-up reel is Standard 8, but again, if you want to use a Super 8, there's an adapter for there. To thread the film, you open the little gate there, switch between Super 8 or Standard 8 by pushing that backwards and forwards, and then the best one I find is to thread it through carefully. I'm using a cocktail stick which won't damage the film. There's a little lug there, you've got to get the film under there. There's another little lug there, yet another one here, and another one there. So I think I've got that through all four quite safely. We can shut that down, switch on the light, and then we can see you can pull it through a bit, and it's a good idea to get it lined up so that then the next time you press the OK button, it will start recording and you don't need any adjustment. You can now wind the film around the things as marked. Just follow the solid line, attach it to the take-up spool, and fit the take-up spool onto the spindle, and away we go. If you're not happy with the framing, just press OK and press return. Go down to frame adjust and press OK. You can enlarge or reduce the size of the image. You can move left or right, or up or down. Go down to picture. OK. You can adjust the brightness, exposure, turn, sharpness, up and down. Okay. Tint, that is the amount of colour in the image. That makes it full colour, or you can take it right down virtually to black and white. I add a little bit of and finally, if you're not happy, you can reset everything back to the factory default. Now on to the problem I mentioned earlier. Interestingly, the Kodak outputs the MP4 videos at 20 frames per second, whereas as far as I'm aware, most cine cameras shoot at 16 frames per second. Consequently, the film you just scanned might look a little bit speeded up, like an old-fashioned film running through the projector too fast. If you have a video editing software program, you can get around this by stretching the file. I use Pinnacle Studio, and in this you right-click on the track to be fixed and select Time Remapping. Up in the top left corner, you select Stretch and you'll see a yellow striped band appears. You need to increase the length of the clip by 1/4, so measure the length of the clip and multiply by 1.25. The stretched clip is not only more true to life, but the jerkiness in the original is not so apparent. Rather than stretching individual clips, I found it best to do all my editing, export the finished film, and then stretch that. If you happen to watch this before Sunday the 19th of January, check out my listing on eBay where I'm selling the scanner. Time for someone else to make use of it.